Please welcome Nerida Cuddy.
Thank you so much, Paul, and thanks to the whole crew at Jam Orange, because you guys do such a beautiful and wonderful thing. And yeah, I just love being able to come up and hear some of the amazing music that we get to hear here. While I remember, I'm just going to thank Marty now for the sound too, because I always get a bit brain dead as things go along. I've had a very, very big week. Wonder how your week's been. It's nice on a Sunday night to be in a warm Bloomfield hall. I wasn't sure how we'd go with that. And I'm very excited because on Friday I managed to pick up from Sydney my new album that I've been working on for the last year and a bit. And yeah, it's very, very happy. On Friday also, my husband opened a building in Canowindra, Main Street, which is a 1909 building that we've been renovating for 3 months. And we both have had a new baby on Friday. Mine's just a lot smaller than Chris's. So it's been very fun, and I'm going to have an album launch down in our building on the 1st of May in Canowindra. So if you are free, I'll be joined by Lisa Goldner later on cello, and on the 1st of May I'll also be lucky enough to have Mark Corkery singing amazing backing vocals, so I'm looking forward to that a lot. I'd like to start with the first track on the album, which is called Ali Karung. I wrote it up in Ali Karung, an Indigenous community in Central Australia, and it was a particularly amazing experience for our family to stay there for a couple of weeks.
Wait so long to be given back what
was always there. So can't you see them growing stronger on that deep red dirt and the pure white gums and those gray green leaves and that golden moon shimmering? You have to see it to believe. It's a beautiful land we live in. It can move my heart to tears. Such a heritage we've been given. It has so much to say for here. It's a beautiful land we live in. It can move my heart to tears. Such a heritage we've been given. It has so much to say for here, for here. So I'm not sure if I said it before, but the album is a collection of Australian story songs. And this is one of the two that the lyrics were not all written by me. This one has lyrics by my friend, the late great Frank Daniel, who was a bush poet. Some of you will know. Beautiful man. Got more and more beautiful as time went on. And Frank wrote this poem called Fencing Wire. It was my favourite one of Frank's, and I didn't think to put it to music till just a couple of years ago. So this is Fencing Wire by Frank Daniel. I met an old man in our shop today who was in his 90s, and they bought the album. I can't wait for them to hear it because he was a fencing wire man. Big Bill was no creator, he was just an innovator, changing things around as need desired. He was capable of shaping anything that needed making with just a length of good old fencing wire. When his old Ford broke down just on 14 miles from town, there was no way to summon that required. Just do the best you can. Big Bill was a handyman, and he fixed it with a length of fencing wire, fencing wire, fencing wire. Troubles on his farm, rarely saw Bill lose his calm. You would never see his temper flare with ire. He could mend a broken brake or kill a snarly tiger snake with just a length of good old fencing wire. He could modify inventions far beyond McKay's intentions. His skill by all was very much admired. Fencing a sagging gate, repair a broken fire grate with dexterous use of good old fencing wire, fencing wire, fencing wire. Logs were tied to his old roof, the iron wall weatherproof. No maintenance was left to be desired. And the lean-to by the shed and the 40-horse draw times, but right now I've got none. And so I did have a beautiful couple of guitar stands at the front door that I never remember, and I did this time, but I didn't. They're still there. So, is that okay? Sorry. So this song is the other song that features words from a poet. Henry Lawson wrote the amazing 5 stanza poem, The Scots of the Riverina, and in 5 stanzas told such a tale. And one night we were listening to a band called Cap in Hand sing a beautiful version of it, and my husband leaned over and said, "You should write the wife's perspective of that." So I took a while, but I did, and this is Scots of the Riverina, a wife's tale, so 1/4 of the words belong to Henry. My boy cleared out to the city from his home at harvest time. We are Scots of the Riverina, and to run from home was a crime. Well, that's how my husband saw it, and his father before the same. So we scrubbed from his heart our laddie, from our Bible scratched his name. And the old fool burned each letter, though my heart within cried so. It's cruel to make a woman stand between the man and the son she bore. A year went past and another, till a war o'ershadowed all. They called for those who were brave, and my brave boy answered the call. But those tidings fell on deaf ears, still I saw one to share. My pride and my fear and yearning, that I knew that I did not dare. And the old fool burned each letter, though my heart within cried sore. It's cruel to make a woman stand between her man and the son she bore. My boy came home on his finals, and the girls we all crept to town. Me with my arms around him, but his father not to be found. And my daughters begged for pardon, till their father raised his hand. Oh, my Scot of the Riverina, you're so hard to understand. And the old fool burned each letter, though my heart within cried so. It's cruel to make a woman stand between her man and the son she bore. My boy was killed in Flanders, where the best and bravest died. My heart was a storm within me, as I watched my sweet girls cry. And my man, he plowed at daybreak, and there he stopped till the murk. Deep furrows of pain in the orchard, while we all fled to the kirk. Those years Now tearful and scrawled each letter, dying words and hearts so sore. Once more in the family Bible was the name of the son we bore. We've all had a pretty interesting time over 2020. Such a treat to be here performing, so thanks again to Gem Orange. But I actually haven't stopped performing through the year. I've been a very lucky girl because I started to put a couple of songs on Facebook on the Co-Video Folk Club, and then I was invited to join a Zoom that was meeting in Bristol every week. So I've played in Bristol every week for about 10 months. And yeah, thanks to Arts Out West, I got a grant and that improved my camera capacity. But I've also been greatly encouraged by these beautiful folkies in my Zoom Folk Club, and I was quite put out when, due to daylight savings changing here and there, I was no longer able to meet with my group on Monday night, and I had to start, which started at 9 p.m. on a Monday night. It's very good when you're a teacher. Thankfully only part-time one. And so then I had to join the Saturday morning group, which had been starting at 4 a.m, but due to daylight savings changes started at 6 a.m. So I usually rolled in about 7 or 7:30. And I wrote this song for the group on Monday night when I had to leave them. And thanks to Arts Out West, it's just been recorded in an album for the region for artists who are responding to 2020. So this is Virtual Folk Club. I stay up late with a copper in hand, wrapped up with wintry warmth. You eat your lunch and you're waving your fan as we laugh and we sing and we talk, or try to talk, dodging the delay. You see my kids popping for a good night while you're there in the full light of day. You've settled in for a few lovely hours while I only wish I could stay, sharing the joys of our music, snippets of life across the globe, making it go of community, zooming between our homes. I crawl out of bed, try to warm up my voice, to get my poor brain into gear. You rub your eyes and you stifle would learn a new song from someone else for the Brits because they're heading into spring, and also out of a 1 year long lockdown. We really have been very blessed here, haven't we? And so I've recently sung this song for them and put it on co-video. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's alright, it's alright, little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Welcome to see you. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's alright, it's alright. Little darling, the smiles return into the faces. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's alright, it's alright. Sun, 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 here it comes. 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 Little darling, I feel the ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it feels like years since we've been here. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Oh, it's bloody hard to play, isn't it? Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. The sun. It's great when you start to try and play a song, how you learn how incredible musicians are. And I learned that again about the Beatles. The first time I tried to perform it for the Bristol people, I stopped after the first verse, changed songs. There has been a lot of Here Comes the Sun feelings for me in the last year. One of the other fabulous things that happened was I got to have a residency at the Corridor Project, which is on the Lachlan River, a fabulous not-for-profit set up for artists and creative people. And because of COVID, I got to go by myself. I've got 3 kids, 12, 14, 16. Can you imagine? Like the first 5 days I was like on this complete high, just flying. then I got to go back for another 5 days. So, you know. But I think I had some heart work to do, some spirit work to do. And that happened too, just having that time and space. So the last 2 songs on my album are both the songs I wrote at the Corridor Project. This is the first one. I found her down by the river, that little lost part of my soul, calling me to come and play, become a little bit more whole. I pushed it down for far too long, locked up, thrown out the key, that fiery, winsome, playful one, that little lost girl in me. Dared me out onto a branch, stretched out and awkward to reach, risking falling, getting wet, a small price to be free. And so my shadow loved me. Why has it taken you so long? It made me weep to wonder when that little lost girl had gone. There's little lost girls and little lost boys in all of us, you know, so chased away by all those things that happen as we go. And suddenly it's years since they have even called our name. We have to make the space to let them bring us home again, bring us home again. Next day saw me striding out a clear goal to achieve. She laughed again at the river and dared me to wet my feet. Leave behind the camera, let this day just be for fun. I found a great adventure with an audience of one. There's little lost girls and little lost boys in all of us, you know, chased away by all those things that happen as we go. And suddenly it's years since they have even called our name. We have to make the space to let them bring us home again, bring us home again. Tonight I can't help wondering how I can take her home. Tomorrow I'm a mom again, and there's signal for my phone. But I can't live without her loving spirit, fun and free. I wanna find new ways to live with the little girl there in me. There's little lost girls and little lost boys in all of us, you know, chased away by all those things that happen as we grow. And suddenly it's years since they have even called our name. We have to make the space to let them bring us home again, bring us home again. Maybe she'll take my hand and point out little flowers. Maybe pretend to do my work with loving powers, magic powers. Maybe we'll sing the silly song we used to know. I hope she drags me all the way back home. Well, I'd like to welcome to the stage Lisa Goldner. When I recorded my album, and particularly this song that we're about to do, I just had to have a cello on it. There was no way I was not going to have a cello, even though I couldn't find a cellist for a very long time. But through a friend of a friend of a friend, I think, managed to find Lisa, and she kindly played on 3 of the tracks on my album. And this one, it has a trigger warning, I have to tell you that, but it's quite topical at the moment about violence against women. And sadly, I wrote it from a personal experience of a friend's, and I think it's really important for us to sometimes have words for these things. And I've actually made a film clip on YouTube, and I'd love it if you like the song, if you'd share it, because I was lucky enough to collaborate with over 10 beautiful artists who all contributed artworks. And this song is called a lament, and you might not be as familiar with that word as I've had to be, but a lament is really, it's a prayer of rage and grief. But it's also a hanging on to the truth in the midst of that rage and grief. And I guess how I felt with this violence against women thing is that the truth is that a woman is a connected person, not an object. And that's what this song tries to say. So I actually need you to sing for me, if you want to. No one has to, but this is your part, I'll give you, and then that'll give you time to do what you want to do, get ready. So the part you do is the truth about a woman. And I know it's specifically to the woman I knew, but it's general. So she is a woman, she is a daughter, she is a sister. She is a woman, she is a sister. Is that right? She is a woman, she is a daughter, she is a sister, one day a mother. So that's what you sing, and I'll teach you how to sing it. And it doesn't come to the second half of the song. If it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. She is a woman, she is a daughter, she is a sister, one day a mother. That's your part. She is a woman, she is a daughter, she is a sister, one day a mother. Once more. She is a woman, she is a daughter, she is a sister, one day a mother. That's sounding great. So it's a bit tricky. There's a bit where, like whenever I'm singing it, jump in, there's a little bit towards the end where I start doing a high bit, and if you keep going, I'll be happy. If we can't, it doesn't matter, because I can't quite hear anyway, but you might hear it. So, it's a loss no one can fathom, a loss no one can repay. A young and beautiful woman set upon and stolen away. Her only crime was to be lovely and free in her mind of ever dreaming that someone's heart could be such a different kind. Her voice cries out to be heard. Too many voices crying out to be heard. It's a crime against a woman, a crime against her family, a theft of innocent freedom, of that sense of security. cries out to be heard. Oh, too many voices crying out to be heard. She is a woman. She is a daughter. She is a sister. One day a mother. She is a woman. She is a daughter. She is a sister. One day a mother. It's a loss no one can fathom, a loss no one can repay. A young and beautiful woman set upon and stolen away. She is a woman. She is a daughter. She is a sister. One day a mother. She is a woman. She is a daughter. She is a sister. One day a mother. She has the right to live her life free of another schemes. She is a loving, cherished dreamer of dreams. She has the right to live her life free of another schemes. She is a loving, cherished dreamer of dreams. She is a woman. She is a daughter. She is a sister. She lay a mother. Thank you, everyone. I could hear you. That was beautiful. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. That was really special to have you sing it with me. And yeah, the film clip I made with the help of all those artists, it's just on YouTube. She is a woman. So yeah, if you want to see it, I just feel so privileged because the art in it is so beautiful. This one's called 2020 Children, and I started writing it when I was at school early last year when the children were running out at recess time into a rainy playground. And I just thought, they'll never take this for granted, these kids, because they've just had all these years of drought. And so I actually started recording it in about April. Then I had to re-record it because it had an extra verse. So, yeah, thank you very much, Lisa, for playing it with me. Children of the drought come out to play, relishing the joy of a truly rainy day. be to you. Wisdom and hope be to you. And hope be to you. Thanks, Lisa Goldman, eh? What a treat, what a treat. So this is the final song that we'll do for you. The album's called Woven for lots of reasons, but one that I particularly love is that all of these musicians got woven in during lockdown. You know, talked to someone I met on co-video who plays bagpipes. Would you like to do a little bagpipe bit at the end of my Scots of the Riverina song? Sure. He brings back music that was just completely separate to the music I'd made, but with technology you can sort of make it work. That was the only time I had to do that, but yeah, Ireland, Wales, England, Melbourne, Orange, Trentham, Blue Mountains, woven. It's lovely. There's a harp playing that little Lost Girls song from a friend who I met at an Arts Out West event a couple of years ago, a Welsh harpist. So what a treat for me. They make me look good. So this song's called Water, and I wrote it at that residency at the Lachlan River. The Galari is what I like to call it, actually. And I spent a day following the creek that went down to the Galari, and I was in a space in my life where I needed to think, to ponder, to listen, to pray, to journal. And I just thought about that water and how water seems like a really weak thing. It's very fluid, you know, all those things, intangible. You can't grab it, you can't hold it, you can't control it. And it got me thinking about how the water just, it finds a way. And that's like a lot of the intangible things that we actually treasure most in life. Love, hope, the spirit. We can block it, but it's tricky because it's just determined to find a way. So thank you, Lisa, for playing with me. Thanks everyone for listening, and we'll end with Water. Tiny trickle, raging torrent, steady dripping, surging wave, soaking into overflowing. Water always finds a way. You can do your best. out on a cool night. And thanks to Lisa for playing the beautiful cello.